Damn.
Hello and welcome to Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. My name is Connor McKenna.
I'm Rebecca Hart.
And I'm Karl Stout.
And we're back after a couple of weeks because I have just not been able to record busy stuff. Not that anyone notices anyway, because we don't get much feedback. But yeah, also I'm going to have to do a poll or something about our Paramount and Iron Fist coverage because Podcast Garden still hasn't gotten back to me.
Boo!
Yeah, which ties into, remember to check out our Patreon. And if we get enough patrons, we can move off Podcast Garden and onto a good site that doesn't have all of these constant problems, like Libsyn. And we do have 2 patrons, and I will do the monthly shout-out, because otherwise I will forget if I'm supposed to do it at the end of the episode. So we have Kevin Swanson, a new patron, who is... So, thanks very much, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
And Ray. From
Yay, thanks, Ray.
Into the Night with Rebecca and Last Sons of Krypton with me. And
So Ray really likes that Whitesnake song?
No. Just shooting it down that joke right now. So, yeah, thanks very much, guys. Every dollar helps. Much appreciate your help. In fact, that almost pays for, like, Podcast Garden, which is very cheap for good reason, because it's terrible, but... yeah, so thanks very much, guys. And remember, just check out our Patreon, see if there's any, like, rewards or anything you might want. But yeah, and also I sound better because Karl has graciously sent me a microphone.
You do sound better, but yay.
Yeah, so...
A jerk.
Okay. But thanks, Karl, anyway, despite his constant insults and just trying to make me miserable.
That's easy.
Yeah, no, it's pretty easy, actually, yeah. So, yeah. So it feels good to have a microphone, so we don't have to worry about awful sound quality, and if I do land an interview again, I don't have to worry about that either. So, I'm hoping to get Tom Cruise next.
Fair.
Because
aim high.
Yeah. And I just want to tell him that I dressed up as Maverick once. But,
it looks like he'll have some time on his hands, aren't they? Haven't they had to delay shooting?
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, because of the coronavirus.
Yeah, makes sense. Better safe than sorry. So we're back to cover, you guessed it, Paramount and Iron Fist. And now I will be posting a poll at some point, because we do have a request from Phil Perich.
Hooray.
Who I'll actually give a shout out. He runs Capes and Lunatics podcast. He runs heaps of podcasts for everything. So, but yeah, and he requested the run that Karl's wanted to do for ages as well, the Heroes for Hire 90s run.
Okay.
And since it's a request, it would be good if we could do it.
Do it.
Yeah. But it's like, it's the big run just after this run. So I feel like I'm contemplating, so I'll do this issue, and maybe I'm thinking of breaking up Paramount and Iron Fist by epic collections. So we did one epic collection.
So when would this one would break when?
Well, probably after this episode. But it doesn't really matter when it breaks, because we're still very early in the second epic collection. But yeah, then break, do something else, be it a mini-series, or a couple of issues, or a run, then come back to the next epic collection. Just to...
Well, that sounds good to me, but I think you're right. Yeah, let's do a poll and make sure nobody would be upset, but that sounds nice to
me.
Me.
The only drawback is it'll be hard to remember some stuff not reading this run.
Why did I think this was the first issue in the Epic Collection Part 2?
Because it's the first
so
issue.
we'd break after this one and then go back to that.
But we've got Rom coming up.
You and Rom. Rom's not next, though.
No, it's like
I
73
know.
or something.
Even though they lie about it,
We got Chaka next.
because at the end of this issue it
They say
says
Rom.
next Rom.
Yeah.
They lie.
All this
Bias.
stuff we're talking about, by the way, is better than the issue we have to cover.
Yeah, that's probably why we're dwelling on it. It's not a good issue, guys. We'll start by saying, unless Karl adored it, it's not a good issue.
Yeah.
Stalling for a reason.
So we do have. So I'll just read out the credits first. This is published July 1981. I'll actually read it off the comic just in case the wiki gets it wrong. Can't find it on the comics. I'm reading it off the wiki. Okay, so editor-in-chief Jim Shooter, cover artist Frank Miller, writer Joe Duffy, penciler Kerry Gamble, inker Al Milgram, Vince Coletta, and Armando Gil, colorist Christy Shield, letterer Jim Novak, editor Denny O'Neil. So we have. I think the layout of the cover is good.
Yeah, it is. It's a perfectly serviceable cover.
I think it's nuts.
Like this issue, but in a bad way.
Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing my point.
Okay, I don't want to get that point then. So, Iron Fist, whatever. I mean, at least there's more detail.
I like that it says introducing Montenegro. He's the worst, and you're like, yeah, it kind of is. Well done. And they're kind of playing Tetris on the wall behind him on the cover, pre-Tetris.
So like,
I want to know why he's got white hair.
Does it matter?
That is the least of my questions, I have to say.
But I love that Karl always notices the hair.
Well, he's got shocking red hair in the entire issue.
Karl always notices the weird stuff.
Maybe the events of the issue made his hair go white.
The quarter.
It's clearly a colouring problem. He just looks like he's old enough to want white hair. Who knows?
So
all right, here's my next problem with this entire issue. We know what the story is based about, which is pretty weak. And we have a martial arts champion as a hero, and this issue was not called No Quarter Given. That's just a missed opportunity.
I mean, that's true. I will accept. No, that is very true. Maybe they were worried they'd get sued or something.
My mind is kind of numb right now. Like I've been trying to, like, is this all a big joke? Is there some cosmic truth I'm not aware of when it comes to this character or the villains in this run? Like, because, like, as you said, on the front it says, introducing Montenegro, he's the worst. And it's like, is that like, as in, ooh, he's bad, or is that tongue-in-cheek? It's like, he's the worst, lamest villain ever.
I don't know, but it definitely works for both readings.
Because, like, the comic kind of plays it straight for the most part, but it's like, is there some level of irony here? Is it like all a big in-joke?
Maybe it is an in-joke. It does kind of smack of one, because it's an unusual thing to sort of have at the front.
Yeah, and I'll be combing future letters pages if there is any, because this is a question I've had like forever, because this is not my first round with Montenegro. In fact, the worst thing is that he comes back after this issue. That's the biggest sin since Jesus was killed.
Well, let's not do that too much.
So, yeah. But like if we compare this to other Frank Miller covers, there's actually stuff going on in the background now. It's not just well, I'm just saying, it's not just like a blank color. It's not just red or white. There's buildings in the background. It shows they're high. I think the movement's good. It's just the characters themselves look a bit wonky, but
I like the characters that appear in it. I like that we have DW and I think and Harmony, and it's all. There's lots of good things about it, but my God, it's not a good issue.
Oh, I just meant the cover, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do like DW. So let's get into the issue then. So it starts off with like Iron Fist being confused by this dude running off in terror. We'll get to that later. And it's like 4 panels devoted to that. Which, like, when you think about it, does Iron Fist being startled by some dude running past him need a full page and 3 panels?
No.
Yeah. That was, so then we get to Luke.
Well, I will give a shout out on page 1 for the interesting way they put everybody's jobs.
Oh yeah, I actually love the composition of the first page, but
yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah, it's a lovely, it's beautiful. It's one of the ones where you get like full background. The credits are done really well. I even like the unusual pose they've got Danny in, apart from his weird hand, which just looks strange. But yeah, it is a bit of a like, what, Danny can't understand why someone might be running. Who cares? Like, I don't know.
I'm sure that happens all the time, especially in Harlem. Like,
right, exactly. Well, everywhere. I mean, like, anywhere busy is always going to have that kind of people running sometimes. I ran for a train yesterday. It doesn't happen often, but, you know, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. So, funnily enough, I found, like, the Luke Cage bits generally the best because they're, like... But that being said, those bits are probably the next 2 pages. I don't know. So he's at this party... And,
oh my God.
Like, so they're kind of, Harmony's brought him along as like her date or escort, whatever. And it's like this high society sort of thing. And they're like, oh, hey, you know.
Bend this, Mr. Cage, you're really strong.
Which, to be honest, like, if there was a superhero at my party...
Yeah, you totally want to ask him that.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh man, I've never seen someone bend a steel pipe before, but Luke just freaks out and smashes the piano.
Smash the piano instead.
And it's like, I get that Luke feels uncomfortable, but he should have just said, oh, sorry, and excused himself.
Yes.
The temper on this dude. Like...
Right?
It's crazy. If he wasn't a superhero, I feel like he'd be like a domestic abuser or something with...
You do have to wonder a little bit, like, has he not been out with... Like, has Harmony never pulled him up on, like, done something... You know, like, has he never had to deal with other boring people that hang around with Harmony before?
Yeah.
Clearly not. Which is a bit of a concern for their relationship, perhaps.
Yeah. And it's not like... It's not like this is, it doesn't, like, it's not like Luke's having a bad day or anything.
No,
like,
it's just
normal.
Luke being a dickhead.
Yeah. Which is like, every time I start to like Luke, he does something like this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that it makes it sound like I hate Luke. I do like Luke, but every time I start to really like him a lot more, he does something
But
like
I also
this.
find but it's also a little bit problematic because it's just like, you know, it's not being written by a black guy. And it's just like they added a lot of anger to him. Like, I think it's something that you definitely notice with the more recent Luke Cage is that you don't have that level of anger in him.
He's also more boring now, though.
I don't know. I mean, I think once he became a leader but he was never super interesting. I don't know.
He's a dad now. We become really boring really fast. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking of like the New Avengers run when he was with Jessica Jones. I just found him very... He just, like, no personality, maybe. Like, I mean, he has personality here, like, even, you know, like, he has good back and forth with Danny and stuff. I don't know. Anyways, not really going to go anywhere because I haven't read it recently enough, so...
Maybe Joe is just pressured to have to throw some angry ex-con in every few issues for a couple pages.
Maybe, yeah.
I find that unlikely.
She's been told to keep him edgy.
So Harmony says he's usually such a lamb. It's
such a lamb.
I don't know. So Luke's having coffee. Blah blah blah. That guy's in there that ran at the start.
Yeah.
And he runs off again, leaving all his change and stuff. So Luke pays for his coffee and takes the change that he'll require out of the change the other guy left because the guy at the counter's gone. So we'll get that. That'll be important. Now this guy's being chased.
The most important thing about this page is the Queen song.
Oh yeah.
It's probably one they wouldn't be allowed to do now. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they'd be paying money for that.
So there's this very sinister, agile figure chasing this guy
from the rooftops.
uh,
Is it Daredevil? He's got a rope.
I just got to his introduction page again. He's so bad.
Is it Stiltman? Stiltman would have been better.
Well, Stiltman ended up being like good because of how bad he was.
Yeah, yeah.
This guy's like worse than the Marauder. Which I'm glad you got that. So, you know, like it, and he has this stupid gun as well, which is like this sci-fi gun that fires. What are they called again?
You say it. I am saying it. I'm gonna screw it up.
Well, the mountain climbing pegs or whatever, like
pitons or something. They're
pitons.
called.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So
which only shows he's not much of a superhero. I mean, villain.
They're the spikes they hammer into the sides of the mountains that they put the hooks in.
Yeah. So we cut to, you know, he ambushes, captures the guy, blah, 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 who cares. So we cut to the Luke's abode.
Room above the cinema.
Yeah. And, you know, he's being his usual charming self, I guess. So DW is knocked on the door. Go away! And he knocks on the door again. And we have these customers come in who are obvious criminals.
Yeah. They look like the worst. Like, they look like the biggest rip-off of the Kingpin gang.
What are they called again? I don't know who you mean. Like Ox.
Yeah, they just look dumb.
They do. Even one of them is like really short as well.
Yeah, and they just do this ridiculous thing, like they need this quarter, and here's $10,000 for it, and he's like, yeah, whatever.
Well, don't we have Humphrey Bogart on the right, Peter Leary, or is it Peter Leary?
Yeah, Peter Lorre.
Peter Lorre on the left, and I don't know who that's supposed to be in the middle, but on the next page, when it's the close-up of his face, it kind of looks like Boss Hogg from Dukes of Hazzard. So they're asking for a certain quarter that he picked up from the change, and they're offering to give him $10,000 for it. So Luke's just like, you got a deal.
Yeah. All right, he's like, this is almost, he doesn't say it, but you know, he's not dumb. He's like, yeah, whatever.
He fishes out the quarter from his suit, throws it at him, and they hand him the $10,000, and they're on their way.
See, this is the part of the issue that I found amusing. Like, he's just like, for a quarter, all right.
Yeah.
I'll take $10,000, sure. Plus he's bulletproof. What are they going to do? So, yeah.
I think they're pretty much threatening to shoot DW.
Yeah, but I think he would have taken
after.
it anyway. There was just like, they don't really need that, you know?
Yeah, I'm more meant after he takes the coin, because obviously he's smart enough to know that it's not an ordinary coin, but he doesn't care. But I'm just looking now. Montenegro pops up in the new Power Man and Iron Fist run. Yeah, there he is. I remember now.
He supposedly dies in it, but I don't even remember it. He's in Black Cat's gang.
Yeah.
He only has 3 appearances. This episode, issue 80, and the newer Power Man and Iron Fist in that one issue.
Yeah, he supposedly dies, but I guess he's not carried out by Luke. I mean, I hope he dies. But, like, he needs an on-panel death. We need to see it. So, you know. Anyway.
Soon in Montenegro's lodgings.
Such a
Power Man
name.
gave you the coin for a mere $10,000. Odd. He's not reputed to be a coward or a fool.
Which means he would have gone higher.
So what's
like,
with
oh,
this
Luke,
magical
you could have asked
cord?
exactly how much it is worth.
So now Boss Hog is trying to apparently peel the back off the quarter, and it isn't coming off because, oh my god, it's a real quarter.
Yeah.
Oh, and here we find his name is Thisbe. Thisbe, you cretin, you.
Wow.
Paid $10,000 for the wrong coin?
You seem like such an honest fellow. God, they're such idiots. Like, all criminals have such idiots as, like, followers. If
And,
I'm
like,
ever a criminal, I'm doing an intelligence test.
Montenegro he also just speaks like a generic villain. Like, he's so...
Everything about this is generic.
Yeah, but, like, yeah. I mean, when I was 10, I feel like I would have come up with, like, a mountain climber villain. But it probably would have been better than this. Like, so, well, let's just, like, look at hobbies and just make supervillains. Oh, guy skis. Let's do that.
This one climbs mountains. He's fine.
Yeah. What about Pilates?
I'm sure they'll have one.
Okay, so all that happens, blah, 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 and we're back at the gem. And Luke, he's not jiving you, Danny. So he's telling him this crazy story, and I love this line from Danny, actually. I give up, I'll never understand capitalism. Because $10,000 for one quarter, it's just thrown his world apart.
Danny's just like, whatever, I'd have given you, you know, like...
So,
crazy.
They've taken to the streets, and we're noticing everything around Luke is shutting off. Which, you know, means the quarter must be some sort of blackout type thing. Yeah, and then, see, I thought he actually gave the quarter over to the newspaper guy, but he didn't. But I thought that would have been pretty cool.
I thought he did as well. That's where I thought they were going with it, but yeah, they didn't.
Well, there's so many times he could have given this quarter out.
Yeah.
Or the quarter could have been used, but even the end of the issue doesn't make any sense because he had no time to do what he said he did when we saw that there was still evidence of the quarter working.
The whole thing doesn't really make a lot of difference, yeah.
You're ruining the illusion.
The illusion of poo.
Poo, but it's, yeah, I don't know. But we get to our favourite inept police officer, Lieutenant Scarf.
Yeah.
At least he's not corrupt.
Hooray!
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's coming.
When are we getting an Iron Fist Max series?
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Actually, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But anyway. So, yeah, the cops are investigating this diner. What even happened at the diner? Oh, yeah, it got thrown around and stuff because of, man.
Yeah, not much.
It's so boring. Like,
it's really dull.
So we get
They stole all the quarters out of the cash register.
Yep, so they go back to the thing. The bottom line is Montenegro is tracked down Powerman and Iron Fist. Now, this is where things get exciting. So, Luke is drawing away Montenegro from DW and Danny, because they're not Paton proof or whatever. And, you know, so DW goes to call the cops, but the phone's not working, probably because of the coin. So we have Luke deflecting these things with the fire hydrants. Like, it's... I mean...
It's alright.
The art's good. The art's good, the motion's good and stuff. Like, you know, it's just... Obviously, the context and the plot...
Yeah, the plot is just terrible, but the actual art throughout is alright.
Yeah, like, the art's good despite it being them versus a mountain climber. But, like, it's embarrassing that he gives them trouble.
It
like,
is.
These guys should be
But then
ashamed.
he doesn't Iron Fist up, so, you know.
That's true. But Danny killed a dragon without the Iron Fist, and now some mountain climber is, like, hoisting him up.
He's probably still in shock about this poor man who was running and he can't work out why.
But like they play this kind of like Danny's having like these flashbacks.
They do play it serious. Yeah, he is having flashbacks, which is strange.
Is this like so serious it's not serious, or is it? I don't know, but
Yeah.
he's getting PTSD flashbacks. He starts wriggling out of the.
I think
rope.
it's their best attempts to try and drop some stuff in that will be relevant in issue 75.
Okay.
Because otherwise it makes no sense.
Oh, 75, the
Yeah,
stuff.
when they go back. So yeah.
Okay. Maybe we should like do until that regardless. And then
Well, that was going to be my other suggestion, but
'Cause-
I'm fine with switching now. So
We're close to that stuff.
they could be your options for the poll.
Yeah. Yeah. Rom. Oh, we're not doing Rom actually, Carl, because of copyright issues.
You shut your dirty mouth.
Yeah.
Not only are we doing the ROM, we're doing the ROM issue because it's going to be a 2-issue story.
Can't wait.
It's actually all right. I've covered it on another podcast.
I just remember him vaporizing this lady of the street or whatever, lady of the evening, and the pimp.
She was
like,
a dire
oh,
wraith.
Wait, was she a robot too?
Dire wraith.
Oh, okay, all right, but still, like, out of context, it was pretty funny. But anyway, Danny catches. He's falling, but he catches the ledge with the rope. And
Yes.
he's like, Spider-Man and Daredevil make this look easy. I'm like, they do. Especially Daredevil, because he doesn't have superhuman strength.
Or sticky fingers.
Yeah, that too.
Unless he's eating a caramel apple or something.
Yeah. So Luke does some wall crawling as well. By digging
Yeah,
his
I
hands
like
into
it when they say Daredevil and Spider-Man makes it look so easy.
Yeah, because it's true.
It is true, and it's easy for them. Well, for Spider-Man anyway.
Because like swinging around would probably be the hardest part of that superhero gig.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just like their travel mode. So, but anyway, apparently these things are actually hurting Luke a fair bit. And then this dude, guys, get ready for your minds to be blown. He pulls out an Alpine gun, which
Dun, dun, dun.
he carries around weather conditions in the highest Alps in a gun.
Of course he does.
My mind just blew up. This is so awesome.
So he freezes the ledge that Luke is trying to climb up on.
And he's
So
slipping!
he starts slipping.
No!
It's very stressful.
Is this the end of our intrepid heroes?
Harmony certainly thinks so.
Yeah. Yeah, she sees Luke hanging on the ledge. DW's freaking out. Raphael's scarf has gotten a notification on the radio. And they're heading off to the... I mean, things just keep happening for some reason. Like, the issue's not over yet. This is 30 pages.
Monologuing.
Oh yeah, he's monologuing. Even Luke points out that, like, nothing could save me from this monologue or something. I like this, though. Danny pulls out some glass. He should have aimed for his neck, though. I'm just saying.
Stop it. And Luke actually slips off the ledge, but puts his fist through the entire building, so he's being held up by his left arm as the rest of himself dangles off the side of the building.
And then this guy, he's spinning around Montenegro with his own rope, but then Montenegro severs the rope, flips, and lands on the roof.
Well, the roof across the street.
Montenegro sees the police on the scene, he vows revenge. There will be another time.
Says Bumbles bounce.
And, yeah,
And they're like, whatever, peace out.
they're like, how do we get down from here? So
Yeah,
let's
pretty
just-
much. It's like, we're now bored, how do we get down?
Montenegro wouldn't have that problem, he'd just climb down. But, so they go down. The issue's still happening for some reason. I'll let you guys take the last page.
No.
It's terrible. It's like the worst. It's just like.
By the time the heroes for hire reach the street, there's quite a reception awaiting them.
It's terrible. There's not much of a reception waiting, and there's like.
Oh, come on, there's press. There's a guy with a camera with a flash.
Whatever. There's Harmony. There's Raph. There's like DW, and then Luke realizes where the real quarter is, and it's in the stupid drinks machine, so he goes to whack it.
So,
because that's Luke's response to almost every problem.
And frightened man running from the start of page 1 apparently is a spy named Marco Valaprisa.
And so like, did anyone hire them ever again after seeing this on the news? It appeared they were stuck on the roof for a few minutes, but they eventually, it's like, oh man. Alright, so, we've done it. We've reached the low point.
It is pretty much a low point.
Or a low point, I should say, because there's more.
Yeah.
But this is like a pretty...
wait, there's more.
Well, there's also high points, though. Like this... I don't know, this run's been kind of rough. Like, I'm not sure. There's like a couple of good issues there, but I'd have to... When we fit... Like, is this Joe Duffy's last issue? I think it might be.
No.
Let's see.
She writes all the way up, I think, to like issue 88.
Oh, wow.
She did the longest run of any writer.
Okay. Right. Well, yeah, either way, that issue's over.
Hooray.
So...
And even though it says next issue is Ram, it's a lie, because next issue is the return of Chaka.
Which I'm actually looking forward to.
Really?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a continuation of a... It's better than this.
Well, yes.
Like, it's an actual villain that's been in it before. That's not, like, the Incinerator.
Okay, that's true too. Yeah, no, I mean, it's fair.
I mean, it doesn't have much competition, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
That's true.
But, oh yeah, she did up to 84. You're right, Carl. Okay, well, no, she does some really great issues then. So, yeah, this is a standalone issue, thank God. So, I'll put that poll up at some point, and we'll figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, what we'll do next.
Yeah, but, odds are pretty decent that you will see Rom and the return to Kunlun in the near future.
Yeah.
But after that, because that's the return to Kunlun stuff we've been looking forward to. So, but after that, we might be doing a detour. It depends what happens on the poll.
Because then after you do a break after that, then it's probably quite easy to go to story arcs.
Yeah, this is all we've done. Like, I think since October 2018, this is all we've done outside of Contagion. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's like that, do you remember that Futurama episode where they get the reality collapses or something and they're all stuck playing D&D in Infinity? It's like, we'll be stuck doing this run in Infinity. Just, good times. But no, I'm actually looking forward to the next few issues.
Cool.
So...
Me too.
And Carl is, because you won't stop saying Rom, so I'm assuming that means excitement. So, yeah, sorry for the delay by a week, I think, maybe 2 for this episode. But, until next time...
read Rom 17 and 18, because they're awesome.
Yeah,
they're
and also...
Okay.
Wow.
What?
They're awesome. They're okay.
No, they're good. They're good. But,
They're an X-Men crossover. It's fantastic. And creepy.
Yeah. Climb a mountain. See ya.
Yes. Take care. Bye-bye.
Iron Fist and all other characters in these comics are properties of Marvel and Disney. Any music or images we use belong to their respective copyright holders. We do this for fun, so please don't sue us. You can contact us at sonsofthedragonpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us mail, comments, thoughts, anything you want, really. It doesn't even have to be related to Iron Fist. If you don't want it read on the air, though, make sure you mention that. You can also find us on Facebook, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast, Sons of the Dragon. Our Twitter, at Iron Fist Podcast. Our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Sons of the Dragon, hyphens where the spaces are. Our YouTube, Connor Carl. Just search Iron Fist Podcast and you'll find us real quick. We are also on iTunes. If you find us there, give us a review and rate us. If it's less than 5 stars, please say why so we can improve the show. And we're on Podcast Garden in the literature section, and last but not least, head over to our WordPress, Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast.wordpress.com. That's where I put all the show notes. I'd like to thank Thomas Tissot for composing the Iron Fist theme song we use at the start of our Iron Fist episodes on the podcast. I'd also like to thank Peter John Sikorsky for composing the Power Man and Iron Fist theme we use at the start of our Power Man and Iron Fist episodes. And finally, thanks to you guys for listening.